This is America. It's Americanas Grandson. And if I wasn't bright enough, here we got the sun shining on me. It's hard to belong in an empire that doesn't acknowledge its own people. It's like trying to get the mob in Rome to get along with one another so you can keep your system going. And so you get this cat up there that is going to make things right. He's got to talk to this rebel rouser. It's like, man, what is truth? And that cat says what he says, and the guy in charge doesn't want his hands dirty, so he's going to wash his hands. So his hands are clean of what he's about to do. Your wife's not going to like it. Your wife was okay with the cat. You hate to do it, but we're just going to go ahead and crucify this rebel rouser to appease the mob that you subjugated. And this is what's goofy as hell to me, is it gives me no pleasure whatsoever in the way that I recount the past. The only pleasure I find in recounting anything is being present to myself and my journey and the way that I collect things, the way I live and move and breathe and have my being. But it's so hard to belong in an empire that will not acknowledge that it owned people. We're separated from our words in general in this empire, in this empire religion, where the people in charge have got to please all the people that have been subjugated, and the people in charge are butthurt about it because it's like, I wasn't here when we subjugated all of y'all. It's just my turn to be in charge. Like, I don't understand what everyone's so upset about. And it's just goofy. You've got every child born in this world, I imagine, all things being equal, all families being healthy, would love to grow up in a home with their dad and their mom. And the thought is so difficult to even imagine all things being equal, because we haven't known a world where our mother and our father are just healthy. Now, don't get me wrong, there are exceptions. There are exceptions where a family somehow learned how to tune in to the fabric of reality and the rhythm of things, and to pause themselves before they ready, fire, aim some friendly fire at a family member. Or let's bake a little bit more room into it. Let's say you do miss your mark and you fuck up and you hurt somebody that's in your family, your spouse, your child. It's so rare to have somebody acknowledge that your missed mark harmed someone you're there to support and love, to know and be known by. I don't know a child that would not want to grow up in a family like that. And then we know it's rare. We know it's rare, but then we bumble on in life being frustrated. Like, we weren't there when everybody was subjugated. I wasn't there. That wasn't about me. There's a part of it's not personal that gets overused. It's like, if you know it's not personal, do you also know the momentum, the pendulum swing of history that makes up all the momentum? This is what I think they call the principalities and powers of the air in biblical literature. It's all this momentum of the way people behave, all the thought entanglement and the energy entanglement, the enmeshment, the codependency, no judgment. It's just like, we are insane. We are utterly insane. And then we look at our children and demand they do better while we're doing like this. And see, what annoys me the most about all this is somebody will look at me and be like, you're right. You're right. But you're right. What good is it to be right? What good is it for me to be right when it's still gonna all be like this? The only thing I can figure, what good is it for me to be right, is something going on inside of me that every time I miss my mark, I'm like, okay. And I try again, miss my mark, okay. Try again. It's like you can't, if the goal's here, it's like you can't stop missing your mark. You can't stop missing your mark in order to hit your mark. Because if you stopped here, you wouldn't miss this mark. If you stopped here, you wouldn't miss this mark. If you stopped here, you wouldn't miss this mark. But let's fuck it all to hell and back. Since Rome, and since Pilate washing his hands, we have had a system, a conquering mindset system, that a lot of us think our Christianity and our spirituality is what Jesus handed the disciples. Many of us even know about Constantine, from Constantine's fiery cross to the KKK's fiery cross. But here's the deal. Let's convolute missing the mark even more and throw the English word sin on top of it. Let's get the whole world saying the word sin, detached from the archery language in the biblical literature, with the Western separation of the spiritual and the physical, this objectification of the West. Let's get all that going. And now, instead of thinking about missing your mark on the way to hitting your mark, now we're going to say how thick your tie is, how wide your tie is when you go to church. Do you smoke? Do you gamble? Do you have sex before marriage? Do you sin? Do you know what I'm saying? Let this church on this corner, we don't do these sins. And this church on this corner, we don't do those sins. And we can't stand cancel culture, but we can cancel those people. We could live without those people in this game. So, like, what good is it? What good is it for me to be right? What do I get? What do I get from being right? And this energy doesn't belong to anyone. It belongs to me. My frustration sitting here in the sun, shining on my blue eyes, what do I get from being right? I don't get anything except for, okay, try again, miss my mark. Okay, try again, miss my mark. Okay, try again. I'm going to tell y'all something. Conservatives, this recent sex positivity that you have, it's all over the dating apps. It's not new. I ain't saying something new, but this recent sex positivity, it's awkward. Y'all come from the culture of fundamentalism and evangelicalism that is so suppressed, repressed, uptight, teetotalers. You guys come from a history of people, the Puritans who came over in America, like the whole like Christian nation motif. You guys come from some freaky people. It's the freakiest people that have all these proclivities and prohibitions. And I just want to say, this recent sex positivity, it's awkward. It's so awkward. Like 5 minutes ago, it was not okay to be homosexual. And now that you've moved on and you're a little okay with that, you're kind of progressive homosexual. You're progressively homosexual now. Now it's time to really it's really time to hate on the trans community. But the Bible was this way too. And the Bible was translated from the Greek and Hebrew to the Latin. Controversy. Same thing. It was progressive until it wasn't. The Latin Vulgate, then it was conservative, and the new translation was progressive. This is goofy, but what do I get from being right if it's not on the way to where I'm going? Own your journey. I'll say it to me. Good hand. Own your journey, because that's you.